Dude, I just you were playing our intro music,
Yeah.
and I was getting pumped up, so I turned my volume in my headphones all the way up, and then just blew out my ears when the
Yeah, it's easy to want to start jamming to
Oh
that.
yeah,
The people here can't hear it, so it's Alan Parsons, but you can't play it on YouTube. So I just play it for Ricky and I off the air.
it helps us get prepped,
Yeah, I'm ready now.
get hyped. It helps
I
us.
wasn't before. I'm ready now.
Would you argue that it helps us get our nipples hard?
Not when we have a guest.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Boys and girls at home and kids in the gallery, let's go!
Hello, Pack-a-Maniacs, and welcome to another episode of Pack to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I'm joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
I'm good, buddy.
Well, on tonight's episode, we've got a really cool one set for you guys tonight. We're going to have an interview with MC Sports Cards creator, Michael Cancelliere.
Right? Yeah,
Cancelliere.
I listened for like 10 minutes on like translation things, and I think that's what it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna hear more about his company, MC Sports Cards, which Chad had an awesome experience with. Get a little more behind the scenes there. We're gonna have some fun with some of the products he has listed tonight or currently. But before we jump into all of that, Chad, do we have any show announcements?
Yeah, we actually have some fun things to promote here. And the first and foremost, what I want to tell people about is to promote our YouTube channel. You know, this is a great podcast viewing experience, and we still want it to be that podcast listening experience. But the YouTube aspects, you're just going to get a little bit more. You're going to get Ricky and I's smiling face. We are separate tonight, but we are always together.
Oh, yes. Heart and heart.
We're going to have some good visuals for tonight. So go on over to YouTube and check us out at Pack to the Future podcast. Now, the other part that I forgot to pull up that I'm just pulling up right now is our website, pttfpodcast.com. And of course, you guys have heard me talk about this week in and week out. From that website, you can watch our shows, you can listen to the podcast, but also you can head on over to our sponsor and affiliate link tab. Click there. You'll see some discounts that we have lined up for you over time. You can see some fun things if you're just looking for ideas of how to grow your hobby experience. Maybe the RC custom rookie cards. Ricky, have you completed one of those yet? Have you bought one of those? The rookie cards, the custom cards.
No, I haven't yet. I need to.
You know what I just did? I looked over this way to look at you, but you are not here.
Gotcha. Got him.
Yeah, exactly. But also, guys, if you're going to make a purchase through Fanatics or through eBay, we encourage you to go over to this website first. Click on the link, shop as planned, free for you. And if you purchase something in the next 24 hours, the show gets a small commission in the process, and we will love you dearly.
Cost you nothing.
Podcast.com.
Hell yeah. No, and those RC cards, I am gonna buy some. Sorry, we're working. Whenever we work separately, it's always extra challenging, right? With technical issues and prep and everything. Yeah, I got a little distracted there. I apologize, but no, and I am gonna get those cards. I got to figure out how to do it though. I told Chad I dream of a set of you and I, and maybe some of our P1 listeners.
Yes,
that would be a lot of fun, but I just got to think about this for a little bit. But it's so worth it. These are not your standard custom cards made of you. They are kaboom styles. They have super cool styles of cards like I've never seen before. So check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're talking about the eBay and Fanatics links that are just above this, Ricky, I want to give some shout out to some people, or at least some cards that were purchased through the website's affiliate link just over the past week.
Yeah.
So listen to there's a couple of bangers in here. So Ricky, the first one is a 2001. So take yourself back to that sweet year.
Wow.
Topps Chrome Retrofractor. Ichiro Suzuki rookie card, a PSA 5. That's a big one. That's a big deal.
That's a huge one. And, you know, it's massive. I mean, it's such a cool card. and how cool that they used our link. I do have to say, I did kind of take myself back to 2001 earlier this week when my son had a couple basketball games for spring league in high school at our alma mater, Highland High.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and I walked the family through the halls. I said, that's where Lacey and I would do our thing. That's where Bo would harass all students around him. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, you were prepared on those beeps. I like that a lot.
I got you.
It is kind of fun going back in those little trips down memory lane. I've thought about going back to the high school, but I've never found the opportunity to do that like in a safe way or a smart way. So
It looks exactly the same.
no kidding. God, they should update that. That's been a couple of days since we've
That's
been
what my whole family said. This looks old as hell and it's kind of creepy. And I was like, yeah, it makes me feel, it brings me back. I didn't mind it. But I'll tell you what, next time Carter has a game out there, I'll give you the invite. That way
that's fun.
called names.
Well, another big card that was purchased through our eBay link over at pttfpodcast.com, a 2003 Topps Finest Gold X-Fractor, number 175 of Peyton Manning.
Another big boy card.
Yeah, that's a BGS 9.5. That's a really big boy card. And it made me scratch my head and say, well, hey, why didn't I go buy that thing? But I like that a lot. So to the two people who made those purchases, we certainly appreciate it. We would love it if you would send us photos of those cards once you have them in hand.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I like that a lot. I always enjoy seeing what people are collecting. But Ricky, that's not all. There's one more. Yeah.
That's what?
So maybe you're not shopping for sports cards. Doesn't matter. Like, hey, can I still use the eBay affiliate link? I'm not here to buy cards. You can. How about this? 3-in-1 kitchen tool. Apple fruit. Hey,
Dude.
every little bit counts and we appreciate you all.
No, seriously. Thank you. Anything you buy on eBay, go through our link.
I love it.
Oh,
Ricky,
that's
a
so
couple
cool.
other shout outs that we have for this week. We have 2 new YouTube subscribers, and I just want to give them a thanks. David Andrades and Rob Weber, both subscribers. Their names popped up, and so just want to give them a shout out. Thanks to you guys for watching. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Hooking us up.
Dude, there's one more. So we have a new
What?
Apple podcast review as well.
What?
And this one seems very timely for WrestleMania right around the corner.
Oh.
So the title of this comes from Wise Quacks. It says, Break Out the Yes Chant. Excellent sports card podcast. I have been hooked since late season 1. God, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
When are we going to do season 4? Like, what does that look like? How does that work?
As soon as you and I need to tap out for a couple weeks.
Oh yeah. Then it's a new season.
That's my prediction, but I'm open to ideas.
I like that. I enjoy the great chemistry and banter between the hosts who bring their fun, engaging take on the hobby and personal passions in each episode. In addition to covering hobby news and product releases, PTTF captures the everyday highs and lows of being a collector and sports fan. Have your bell ready. Oh yeah, I do have the bell ready. That is a fantastic bell. That's so much
bell?
better. God, your soundboard's really, really popping tonight. For those of you who are not watching on the YouTube, Ricky is podcasting from home. We weren't really sure if Sarah was feeling unwell or not. We didn't want to wreck things for WrestleMania, so we're keeping our distance until the big shebang on Saturday.
Yeah, we've got a big title match on Saturday.
Yes, we do. A couple other announcements here. Ricky, I do want to remind people to, speaking of Sarah, listening to our new releases, which we have titled Card Talk with Mrs. Doc, which should come out on podcast form every Wednesday. And you may say, wait. This past week, I think it came out on Tuesday. And it did because your guy screwed up. He was doing too many things at once, and I set it a day early. I woke up at 4:00 and I was like, uh-oh.
I didn't even, I noticed it was released and I didn't even dawn on me that it wasn't Wednesday. In fact, I kept trying to think it was Wednesday as well. And so until I saw your apology,
Yeah. Whoops.
I was like, oh, no harm, no foul. It wouldn't be the first time that we didn't release stuff in the middle of the night or 3 days early. I mean, through the years, we've had some interesting, there was one where yours truly did most of the work and forgot to, or actually, I think I forgot to edit the whole damn show and post it. And I got a panicked call from Chad and the gambler saying, "Where the hell is our show?" That's a bad feeling.
And here's a quick aside, and we're going to take this a little bit slow here to start the episode today. Just peek behind the curtains. Mike's going to join us, and so we got a little bit of time until he comes on. He's the owner of MC Sports Cards, so this is a perfect time for this story. Ricky, you may not even know this. So back during the season that you were out, Tim and I had joined up with a podcast network. Okay,
Right.
so as a part of this network, and tell me to stop at any point if this is just not amusing.
No, it's
So
great.
we had a producer for the show.
Mhm.
Now, the producer is the nicest kid in the world, but he's a young dude. He's probably in his young 20s. He's like an avid Pokemon collector. He knows his stuff to some degree. But, all three of us, like you, me, Tim, like we're all fairly prompt in what we do because we got a lot of stuff going on and we kind of have to be set to deadlines and things.
Right.
So, as you guys may recall, thinking back on this, there were some times when the show on Saturday would not release because we did not upload the episodes. The episodes would always go to him, and he would upload them through an entirely different platform, which is ultimately why like our whole feed got knocked out when we restarted. And I remember there was a time that Sarah and I were in New York. We were walking around like Central Park. I think we had just gone to get coffee, and we were going over to see the hotel where they filmed Home Alone 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we're walking by there, and I'm thinking, it's Saturday. Why didn't I get a notification that the podcast had uploaded?
Oh,
So
no.
I'm looking through it. I'm like, where is it? So I send a text to our producer. Nothing. Finally, it's like 12:30 out there, and I call him. He doesn't answer. I call him again. He answers, and it is very clear that he just woke up. And just completely forgotten that he was supposed to upload our episode.
Oh,
I was furious. Now, it doesn't matter. No, like we don't make a living off of this. We don't even make money off of this. I was so mad though. I was so mad. I don't rip into people because like people don't deserve that. But in this episode, I'm like, dude, you got to do your job or just give me access and let me upload the flipping thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, arms waving, I'm yelling in the middle of the park like everyone else in New York. So I fit right in as a New Yorker.
Right. Perfect place to do it.
Yeah. So that was very frustrating. So anyway, now we have control of that. So I've got no one to blame but myself.
How long did it take him to get it up?
Oh, after that, it was up within like 15 minutes.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say hours.
Oh no, I was so
You might have
mad.
murdered someone.
I was saying, and like the big scheme of things doesn't matter. No. Does anyone listen to this even remember that day? Absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was angry that day.
Oh,
The seas were angry that day, my friend.
Man,
all
that's insane. Anything else?
I got
For
a
you?
mail day. I have a mail day.
Yes.
So
Yes!
I'm new to this, and if you follow us on
Yes.
Instagram, you may have already seen this. Now, I have mentioned, Ricky, a few different sets that I was going to collect over the past year. None of them have come to fruition. None of them. I said, hey, I'm going to collect the early 90s inserts. I'm going to collect Shaq and Jordan. I'm going to collect Galactics of WWE. No. I also said, hey, I'm going to collect these in-person autographs of the NBA rookies because I have the Kobe, right?
Yeah.
And we did a whole episode on it.
Right.
And see, look at it. Mr. Cotter remembers in the chat. He says, I remember that day. See, he was livid.
See,
I have reason to be livid.
You're a man of the people. You fight for your listeners.
Exactly. And there's no way Carter would just be messing with me to say that. But Ricky, I actually went back and I bought the 89-90 Hoops David Robinson autograph, not inscribed with
Philip,
first. But this one says,
I'm trying to think of a religious book. Job 3:16.
Exactly. So this is the 87 number one pick.
That
So
is so sick.
I thought it was pretty cool. And get this, like not only was it certified by eBay, I had to go through that, but it also came with this little David Robinson USA Sports Marketing, like authenticity.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's a legit brand too.
It adds a little extra. And on the back of the card, you can see that it has its own hologram with QR code,
Oh, hell yeah.
just authenticating it a little bit more, which I think is fun.
I agree. I agree completely. That's super, super cool. that you'll
So-
always be able to do it. Even if you crack it out and put it in and send it to another company, you'll still have that hologram. That's a huge deal.
Yes. So I'm pleased with it. And I think I'm going to keep it rolling. Like we've got a couple more in the 80s that we talked about going with. And so we'll do that. And then we'll bust out the 90s. And maybe you and I can both go through the 90s and go and try and find some of these guys in real time and get them to sign.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. We've already been, we already had one we shared today. I think today, maybe yesterday.
Could have been tomorrow.
Keith Van Horn.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great point.
He was close to 90s.
Yeah.
He had
We
to
were
be
scrolling
90s.
through National List, right? And
Yeah.
I sent that over to you. And of course, being a big University of Utah guy, we could just turn the studio into a University of Utah shrine.
We might as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, guess what?
What?
We've got a visitor.
Oh.
So this is perfect timing. So I'm going to set this up just a little bit. Guys, we talked about MC sports cards and my consignment process a couple weeks back.
Yeah.
Now, this was something that I had heard on some of the various sports content that I had consumed and decided to give them a try and had a really good experience. And some of our listeners, Ricky, reached out to us and said, hey, what was the name of that company? I want to utilize them again.
Yeah.
And as we were thinking about it, you and I were chatting. We're like, you know what? Let's see if we missed some things when we were talking.
For sure.
So why don't we see if we can just bring on someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to MC sports cards? So let's bring someone on. So let's welcome Mike from MC Sports Cards. Mike, welcome on.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Of
First
course.
question, how do we say your last name?
Cants.
Hey, there we go.
I love it. I can say that. If you've listened to our show, I can't say a lot of last names. Can'ts I can do.
Yeah, it's a shortened version of a little longer last name. Everyone just kind of calls me Cants, so it's a lot easier.
Perfect.
Very
Oh,
nice.
perfect.
Well, Mike, welcome on to the show. We always figure it's the best time to get to meet someone is just live on the air as we're rolling. And so here we are. But all kidding aside, we definitely appreciate you coming on. We've got a few questions for you and we won't take up a ton of your time, but to give people a little more insight and ultimately what I'm going to tee up for you is to have you tell us a little bit about your monthly high-end auction. But before we do that, guys, MC Sports Cards, correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, started in 2017, 99.9% eBay feedback with over 350,000 items sold. An insanely easy submission process, lightning fast listings, and reliable payout times. And guys, we can say honestly, at least for me, like your service is now a favorite, at least of mine. And certainly Ricky doesn't consign a lot, but I'm certain that when he does, he'll be using this.
It's great.
We covered the standard service, but I'm real curious about that monthly auction that ends next week. So Mike, anything you want to add about the description of your company, number one, and then number two, what can you tell us about that monthly auction?
Yeah. So as you said, we've been formally established since 2017. I've been in the hobby my whole life. Been on eBay since 2008, all for card related stuff. So we have that eBay history there. But yeah, our consignment process, as you mentioned on the previous episode, super quick, super easy. We have our regular weekly auctions, which is Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. We have high-end auctions, which are called MC Mondays, which run 10 days from Friday to end on Monday. And then once a month, we have our showcase auction, which we aim for items that are like 5K plus. Sometimes we end up going a little less just to get some more items. But so we have kind of like three different service levels if you look at it in terms of a grading company or something like that. You happen to catch us while we have a monthly showcase auction running. And I know in the last episode, you guys touched on some of the items there. So we have some really special items there. As you can see on the screen, a nice assortment, 90s hockey, new hockey, older hockey, Jordan autos, Wemby, whatever you could think of. We probably have something there that scratches the itch.
It's
That's
really
awesome.
an impressive spread. Ricky and I were looking at this, and actually, for after our interview with you today, we actually created a little game where we've got some of these cards pulled up. We assigned a dollar value to each one, and we're going to go through with a budget and kind of select, if you will, what we would pick for our auction. Ricky, one of these that I left off, this Barry Sanders PMG. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say we have a problem.
Yeah, no,
That's amazing.
that's a big one.
That's a big boy.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. mcsportscards.com is where you can find these amazing cards. Mike, we were looking at your payout structure in terms of percentages, and it does seem that it's in tiers. And one of them that we were looking at, for example, between the $150 and $1,000 sales price, the buyer ends up with 88% of that final price, which is better than eBay's 87% plus fees. How are you able to give a better payout percentage than eBay?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, we've been on eBay for 17 years now, so we have the history with them and the relationship. A few years ago, we got contacted by eBay to work together more and do some partnership type things. And as our business and sales grown, eBay was kind of there alongside, taking care of us on the fee side. So we do get a little bit more favorable fees, and we're able to pass that along to the end user there. So, like we always tell people, if it's over $150, like, we do all the work, we ship it, we use our exposure and brand, and like, you get paid more than if you did it yourself anyway. So it's kind of silly not to consign at that point.
Agreed. And that's, that was always kind of my concern. That's why I don't believe I've ever consigned. But after hearing about Chad's experience, I'm really eager to do so with you guys. So you may be hearing from me soon. But but to get a better deal off eBay, and Chad and I for years, we've debated this, where I would list my own cards, say, no, I'm not consigning it. I'm going to take every penny of mine that I can. I'm not sharing it with anyone. You've eliminated that argument here. So if you have the rightly priced card, your place is the place to go. And honestly, even if the percentages are on par with eBay, or even a little bit below, I think that the service you guys provide in the updates and how the ease of use make it so worth it. So you've done an awesome job with that.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of regular clients who are sending us a ton of stuff, and even in the 50 to 150 range where it's 85%, like if someone said 2% less than you would clear, but you don't do any work, and not only does that sound like a better deal, but also, like, you might only get $50 on your own eBay for a card that we might get 60 or 70. So it's like, would you rather have 85% of 70 or 87% of 50? Like, you can
Right.
look at it that way as well.
Yeah, and it seems that you guys have, built a real good reputation and have a lot of exposure, to your point. That I think that's a point that probably I've missed over the years of, I'm going to have 13 people looking at my little eBay page, but when they go to MC Sports Cards, there's going to be a lot more eyes on it, a lot more room for bidding and the like.
Yeah, and going back to the higher end items, we've kind of really solidified Mondays as our days. So now a lot of our buyers know that, on Mondays they should check our items. They see it all there. Myself as a buyer, I used to run into the problem of, like, I don't want to sit on eBay every single night to find a card, or there's plenty of times where I see a card that sold the night before, and it's like, damn, I would have bought that. Like, so having it all on one day that's established also helps the sale price in our experience, because people know, like, all the big buyers know to just check our stuff out on Monday, and you're probably not missing any high end stuff on the other days.
Awesome. Chad, you want to go forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm real curious about this. One of the perks for me when I sit in the cards, actually, there were a couple of them. I highlighted them in the intro. how quickly you listed the cards, how accurate the listing was. I was very impressed that like one of my cards was jersey numbered for a player, and you listed that, and I didn't write that on the card. So we have timeliness, we have the accuracy of the listing, but also the timeliness of getting paid all seem to be very structured.
Yeah.
Is that something that I stumbled into and got lucky on? Or is this something that people can expect when they send you cards?
No, I mean, as much as I want you to feel special and singled out, unfortunately, we treat everyone the same. But yeah, I mean, we really aim to get items up, same or next business day. In most cases, if you're sending us 20, 25 cards or less, they usually get prioritized just because it's a lot easier to kind of sneak that in versus 100 or 200 cards. In terms of payout, we really aim to get everybody paid within 7 days. I would say 90-ish% of submissions are paid within 5 to 7 days. The ones that aren't, edge cases, one buyer hasn't paid, or we're giving a buyer extra time. And in those types of situations, we always offer some sort of cash advance or partial payout to get you something sooner. So, we have a great team of diehard collectors and sports fans. So, as you mentioned, like the jersey number thing, we all understand the significance of that. It's not just a bunch of random people that we're hiring to do these tasks who don't know anything about cards or the hobby or anything. So having that touch is really nice.
How many people are on your team, if that's not too personal?
No, not at all. So we're mid-sized team. We have 5 people full-time in-house. We have a few part-time people, a couple contractors, everything. So, the overall MC team, I'd say is probably 9 or 10, give or take. But
Solid.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a solid team. We're all good friends, and it's not just like a typical work environment. So I think that helps and gets reflected onto the clients too with the service we provide.
And before Ricky jumps in here, I've got a question that is from me and not for Ricky. Are you hiring? And can I send you my CV?
Yeah, so we actually just brought a part-timer on full-time, and at the moment we are pretty good, but in the near future we might be looking to hire.
Yes.
And if you ever need 2 washed out podcast hosts, you know where to find us. Speaking of, I know you have a team. I know that you guys have built this company over several years and your work with eBay. Throughout your time in consignment, and maybe this has impacted your company for the better, you've made changes to address these. But throughout your career in doing the consignment sales, what's the hardest aspect of consignment, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, early on, I would say the harder aspect is getting a consistent stream of items. Um, that without volume, it's hard to keep people busy and really get the snowball rolling there. Today I feel like we've solved a lot of the problems we used to have. I mean, there's still lots of things that we're hoping to improve on or things like that. But yeah, I think the hardest part still is just kind of depending on these amazing cards coming through the door. And luckily we've really built up that clientele, and we have so many people who are sending these cards now that as long as 20% of them are sending cards for this auction, we should have a decent number. So like, trying to get into that spot where if 20% of your regular high-end submitters submit, then it will be a good auction.
Awesome. We're talking with Mike Kantz of MC Sports Cards. You can find their auctions at mcsportscards.com or also consign your cards through the website. Mike, what is throughout the time, and I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot, I realize this, in your your subjective opinion, what is the coolest card that you've seen come through consignment?
Yeah, so probably a Luca NT 9.5, um, like the rookie patch auto, the true out of 99. It was actually before our website even was live. Now with the site, we do get a little sneak preview when submissions are made. We regularly check those, get a little feel for what's coming in. But this was before the site a couple of years ago. Just received a package, didn't know, you just opened it and boom, it was a Luca NT95. So I
That's
think like
incredible.
the whole story behind it and just nobody was expecting it. I would say that's got to be hands down the coolest thing. I mean, nowadays, like we would see it on the site and see it's incoming and not be as caught off guard or surprised. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's incredible.
Mike, who do you think signed it?
what's that?
Who do you think signed it? Do you think Lucas signed it, or do you think his mom signed it?
I used to think that his mom signed it, but I've seen videos of him signing his autograph, and it's very similar to that. So I now do actually think he signed it, but a couple of years ago, I would not.
Right. The story's funny with his mom, but I agree with you. It's a very smooth motion. It does look good. That's an incredible card. Well,
Yeah,
we don't want to take up too much of your night. We want people to know we don't have any affiliation with you. We didn't bring you on here for that. We just want to know that we want you to know we enjoy the service. We want people to know about it so that they can get a good experience as well. But before you go, why don't you tell people what you want them to know and promote anything you'd like?
yeah. So first and foremost, I really appreciate you guys talking about us on the last episode, and yeah, it's a pleasure to join you tonight. But yeah, I mean, you guys have covered a lot of it, and I'll kind of repeat it. Like we really do care about customer service and customer satisfaction, and we take care of everybody. We make sure everything's done correctly. We have good QA checks and multi-step processes to make sure that things are done correctly and timely. And we look forward to continuing to do that and getting even better. And hopefully, some of the listeners here give us a try.
That's amazing.
Fantastic. Well, Mike, thanks again for joining us, especially on short notice.
Yeah,
And,
no problem.
We'll stay in touch in the future.
All right. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too, Mike.
Bye.
Man, how cool. How cool is he?
Fantastic. I absolutely love it. And I love the fact that he started this up and has grown to what it is. Like if people are getting that experience, what it sounds like they are each time, the same experience that I've had twice now, because I just had an auction end last week.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, and notice, you know what I noticed as much when I asked him what's the hardest part of consignment? What he didn't say. He didn't say, oh, it's so hard to get all these cards listed. Oh, it's so hard to get payment out. These guys know what the hell they're doing, and it speaks to your experience with them.
Ricky, you and I know you've consigned less, but
Yeah.
certainly you have been a part of when I've consigned in the past, right? Like when we started this, you and I used to rib each other. You would rib me about selling cards, and you would hear about my experience with selling cards, how there would be some that weren't listed, not with them, through other places.
Through other places,
Like,
yeah.
I would have to write down every one of them, and sometimes they get missed, and it just doesn't happen with these guys, which is great. So, Ricky, let's go a step further. So you and I were playing around a little bit, and I was like, hey, got this idea.
Yeah.
And you want to move into the budget game? I think that's what we should do.
Dude, let's do it.
Okay, so guys, everyone here who is listening, go check us out on Instagram. I'll post this little budget sheet up, but for those of you watching along on YouTube, I want you to join in on this. So what I've created is a budget fantasy draft with the cards ending this week on the MC Monthly Showcase.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a $10 budget. Let me pull up the screen, make it a little more visually appealing. Richard, there we go. Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what happens. Let me tell you how this occurs. I mentioned this briefly. I work for a major,
degenerate gambler. He got this idea from one of his gambling websites.
I went back out to Wendover and I was at the craps table. I'm like, hey, what do you guys think about this idea? And we set it up like we're rolling dice and like this whole bit. And then you get this. So let's go through this. Ricky, we get a $10 budget for this.
Okay.
And I've got 3 tiers. One is a $5 tier. One is a $3 tier. One is a $2 tier.
Okay.
There are no requirements as to how many of each tier or if you take any from a tier at all.
You answered my first question.
So 3 cards in each tier. I didn't want to expand it too much for those who are just listening. Okay.
Okay.
Well, in the first $5 tier, we have an 86 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, which is a PSA 9.
Ooh, beauty.
Also in that $5 tier, we have a 2013-14 Flawless patch autograph, 3-color patch, Kobe Bryant numbered to 25. And lastly, we have a 2004 UD Exquisite Collection Michael Jordan autograph patches, PSA 8.
That's a beautiful card.
$5 tier. Let me scroll in here and see if I can get you a numbering on that. It appears is numbered to right around 100, but admittedly, I don't have that written down in front of me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our $5 tier. And the way I did this is at the time that I pulled these up, I looked at some that were the highest priced on the auction. This has changed since then. So this was just me grabbing these, but that's where people can have some fun.
Okay.
The $3 tier, we have 3 cards. We're going to mix it up a little bit, not all basketball. So first off, why don't we go to the 1934 Worldwide Gum Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
And that's a good looking card.
Oh, yeah.
Big chewing gum card. It's pretty iconic, and I'm pretty certain people would recognize that.
Yes.
Also at the $3 level, we have a 2023 Crown Royale EB Victor Wembanyama Boom Gold, numbered to 10.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Lastly, in the $3 tier, we have a 97 Metal Universe PMG Red John Elway, and that one's a BGS 8.5.
Yeah, notice how one PMG got in and one didn't.
Oh, Ricky, I was so bummed about this. So when I was looking through here, no, there's like a whole bit with it. So when I first decided to create this, I saw the Barry, and I was like, okay, we're going to do the Elway and the Barry, and it's going to be great. And then when I started to tell the story earlier, I had a gap in my schedule at work, and then a patient got added in, and then I went back and created the rest of it, and I forgot that the Barry Sanders was there.
Dude, I can't throw any stones. Do you know how many times I've forgotten to do stuff?
So I was like, oh yeah, I should probably go take care of this chest pain real quick, and in doing so, I forgot about the Barry Sanders.
Stupid patient has to live.
Idiots.
Idiot.
But in the $2 tier, so that was the $3 tier. So
Okay.
Elway, Wembanyama, and Babe Ruth. $2 tier. We have
Okay.
2000 SP Authentic Tom Brady rookie PSA 9. We have a LeBron. This one's tough to see. 2003, 2004 Bowman Chrome X-Fractor LeBron James BGS 9.5. That's a very nice grade.
That is.
And then lastly, a 2013 Panini Innovations LeBron James Kaboom PSA 9.
Beautiful
so those are the
cards.
players.
These are all for sale right now on MC Sports Cards.
And for a kidney, you can get one.
But
So
this
Ricky,
is
what do you think about this?
I love them, dude. Do you want to know what my my team is yet?
I do.
Okay. For I'm gonna go. I'm gonna surprise you. I've talked a lot throughout the history of this show that the one thing I will have someday is a Michael Jordan rookie card. But I can't ignore the Michael Jordan Upper Deck Exquisite Collection Patch Auto PSA 8.
Yeah.
That is in really good shape, and that is disgustingly a disgustingly cool card.
Yeah.
So that's my first pick.
Okay. You're locking it in. I like it.
Lock it in. Then I'm going to go. You can't pick whatever I pick, right?
Oh, no, I can pick what you're picking. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
My second pick. Is this Wemby with the Spurs?
No, it is not. Let me zoom in here. I will admittedly say I had neglected the chat and our chat blew up. So I'm going to post some of those here. It is not with the Spurs. You can see there on the very bottom, the team. I believe that's the team name. I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce that. LDLC and then the team name.
Yeah, I'm not trying to say that one either. Because of that, not because I can't say the name, but because it's not an NBA team. I think I'm going to go the Babe Ruth Worldwide Gum.
Ooh.
You need a classic baseball card in your collection, man.
Yeah,
and you're right. It's iconic.
It is an iconic card. That is for sure.
And then that leaves me with $2. Tom Brady can go pound sand. It's down to LeBron, and it's down to the X Factor and Kaboom. And you know how much I love my Kabooms. And I didn't pick my Wemby Kaboom. I'm going LeBron Kaboom.
All right. Very. So you're just taking that full right side there.
Holy shit, I am.
You are a right-sided guy.
Holy shit.
I like that a lot. So you've got a Jordan patch auto, although non-playing days.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not going to get that much out of
I
it.
guarantee it's game used, though. I guarantee it's game used. Upper Deck, back in the day, I'm telling you, I am 99% sure that's player used or game
Now,
used.
I think that we're seeing some hate on the Jordan auto, if I'm not mistaken, here in the chat. So let's pull this up. Let's take a look at this thing. It is difficult because I will say this. When I created this graphic that's on here,
Yeah.
I did copy it and then put it onto a platform. So let's see if we can actually go over to eBay and take a look at it.
Yeah.
We have the technology, and I believe that this man can do this. So let's stop this screen share. Let's go over here and let's show this thing. I mean, that's not the worst auto I've ever seen.
No, zoom in on it if you can. Click that little magnifying.
Yeah, I mean, there's some parts where it's faded.
You know what though? That's enough for me. I agree completely with Boston Steve. I'm swapping.
Are you?
Michael Rookie PSA 9 done.
Wow.
It's got to be a clean auto. Come on. Yeah, it's got to be a clean auto. And
I love this. Well, they've always said that Boston Steve's an influencer, and here it is. So, all right. Well, that's Ricky. That's not a bad lineup. I will say that.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see if I can fire this thing back up, and maybe I'll share with you my team, which actually I'm going to need some help with, and I'm going to share right now. So, a couple of things stand out here. I mean, the Jordan is iconic, right? The Jordan rookie is iconic, but I feel like there are a lot of them that are out there.
There are.
The Kobe is interesting. It is a beautiful card. But
unknown caller.
Hey, you've got an unknown caller.
Sorry, that's what happens when we thought we were getting called. I'm going to turn off our Bluetooth now.
Yeah, sounds good. So for me, I've already got a Kobe auto, and it's on his rookie card. And this isn't a rookie card, so clearly mine's better than that one. All kidding aside, you know what? I actually was really drawn to the Jordan auto, even though it's faded. I like it, and I am gonna take it. That's what I'm going with.
You're going to take my scraps?
$5 purchase. Yep, I'm going to take your leftovers. I think that's still an amazing card. It's something that if I ever obtained the level of having that, I would just be thrilled with it.
Yeah.
Slightly faded or not.
Yeah, it's an incredible card, I have to admit, even with the fading.
So if I do that, naturally I have to progress down the line. I want to use up all the $10. So I'm going to be picking something from the 3 and something from the 2. I think people could probably guess where I'm going to go with my next 2. I can't pass up the John Elway red PMG.
Here we go.
It's a beautiful card. It's the year. So it's a playing days card. It's an iconic set. It's one that's highly coveted. And it's the year he won a Super Bowl. Now, admittedly, it's not the 97. year, they did not wear those uniforms, but it is the year that he won a Super Bowl.
But those are their best uniforms. We can all agree, right?
Well, they are the best. And I really hope they bring those back.
Permanently. I'll become a new Denver Broncos fan.
I like that. Remind me to come back to that at the end of this. Let's
Done.
go back to the Lions going to a Lions game.
Done.
So that leaves us with a $2 selection. Now, I do love my football cards, and I do love greats. I've grown to learn to appreciate great players more so in the last few years as opposed to hate them.
Right. Which is healthy. Good for you, man. That's growth.
Hey, when you see greatness, you never know when you're going to see it again.
100%.
Right? So appreciate it. Now, the LeBron could fit that as well. The LeBron rookie.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, it just doesn't tickle an itch for me. Like, I was kind of out of the trading card world around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we all know where we're going. Hey, our close and personal best friend is the guy who drew this card.
Yeah.
Give me the kaboom. Give me the LeBron kaboom.
That's where it's at.
So I'm taking the Jordan patch auto. Give me the Elway PMG. Give me the LeBron kaboom. I think that's easy.
Dude, that's solid. Let us know at Back to the Future Podcast on Instagram which one of our teams of cards are better. And be nice to Chad when you tell him it's me.
This was kind of a fun exercise to put together, and certainly not something that we'll do every week. But if you guys would like to join in with us in doing this, or if you'd like to see more of this type of thing, it is fun to put together. We can certainly do that and even expand upon it. So let us know in the comments and we can make that happen.
Awesome. Awesome.
All right. That was kind of fun.
That was fun.
Your
You
team
wanted me
sucked.
to tell you about Detroit.
Oh, yeah. So here's the thing. You said, hey, maybe I'll even become a Bronco fan.
Yeah.
So, Ricky, I think I mentioned this to you off air, but I want to have it out there. I could see myself going to a Lions game.
Yeah.
Now,
yes.
Our buddy Jason over the Dr. Ghost Hunters, there is a and don't worry, no one's going to have to unclick. This isn't going to be a ghost hunting thing. There's a very famously haunted sanatorium out in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's figure out a
Detroit's
time.
Detroit's scary enough as it is.
I know we can be smart about it though, and we can be
It's
safe.
going to be fine.
Let's pick a weekend. Let's go to a Lions game. Let's go ghost hunt the night before.
Yes. 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 Dude, I'm all in. I am all in on that.
That should be pretty fun.
Speaking of fun things we're doing, need to make a big show announcement this Saturday. Saturday. It's the big one. WrestleMania.
It
Now,
is
listen,
a big one.
we've been trying to figure out how to interact with you all during WrestleMania. Now, what we've decided is we don't want to talk to any of you when the matches are going on. But for the pre-show, what time? 5:30 Eastern?
It is 5:30 Eastern. Yes.
Okay. We are going to we're gonna do a live show, a WrestleMania show. And I will admit this will be all wrestling. However, and I know all of our listeners don't love wrestling. I get it. Some of you guys can't be as cool as us. But I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this show. Chad will be there. I will be there. And a special guest third mic that you're going to love.
Yes.
We will all be in full wrestling attire.
Yes.
We'll be breaking down the matches. We're going to talk WWE Topps Chrome.
Yes, sir.
Chad bought two insane cards that none of us know what they are. Maybe we can get a reveal.
Yes.
We missed a lot of details about WWE Chrome.
We did. We did. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have great food, great drinks. The camaraderie is going to be great. We would love everybody to join us in everything Ricky just said.
It's going to be a rowdy ass show. I'm telling you, this is not one you want to miss. You do not want to miss this on YouTube Live. This is going to be epic. Oh, hell yeah. Mysticata. We'll give him a call because he's got a connection in Detroit.
In Detroit. And apparently, if you call her, she appears.
God damn it. I don't have any of my Joe Henry bits on my soundboard over here.
I wonder if I've got. Oh, you keep talking.
You're gonna have to blast it all the way up. You'll blow out your ears, but to get through. Yeah, you never know who's if you say their name. You never know.
Amen. He appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Because you love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America's star.
There's probably going to be a fair amount of that going on Saturday.
Oh, 100. If you think I'm not going to sing I Believe in Joe Hendry less than 100 times, you're dead wrong.
People are taking bets as to who you are going to be dressing up as.
Yeah, what's the leading favorite?
I think Joe Hendry has to be the leading favorite. It's got to be. But you've always been an Undertaker guy as well.
Yeah. I also like to surprise.
You do like to surprise, and you've been very, very excited about this. Like, you even came up with the idea, hey, we should just spend a whole Saturday. And I want to give people a peek behind the curtain again. You send me a text and you're like, hey, I've got this wild idea. You can totally say no. And usually when you say that, it's just like this out of this world idea. You send me a text that's like a mile long, outlining everything for Saturday. You're like, I know it's probably a lot and you may not want to do it. Every bit of it. I could not respond fast enough to tell you how in I was. It's going to be fantastic.
Dude, and that was when I was at my son's basketball game, and I turned to Kyle after I said, Chad is going to murder me after I send this text. He's going to say, hell no. And when you gave me your response that you're 1,000%, oh no, wrong one. You said, I am 1,000% in on this. I start fist pumping. Dude, my son's team was losing by 15. Everyone thought I was crazy that I'm sitting there. Yes! Yes! Dude, I can't tell you how excited we are for this. And when we are this excited, I'm telling you, you do not want to miss this. I'm going to be working with Chad to talk about potential camera angles. Maybe we can do intros from the bottom of the stairs, have a camera facing it, come around that corridor.
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, and I've even got the lights now that I think we could sync up with music, perhaps. Like, we do this whole thing.
Dude, yes! It's going to be awesome.
Just a bunch of grown men celebrating wrestling.
Yep, you can hop on your own, just hang out. If any of you guys get feeling a little feisty, you can maybe even join us on air. It's going to be just a fun party. We're going to be excited for the biggest 2 nights in wrestling.
Oh, it's going to be a great time.
I can't wait.
Great time.
Okay, so make sure you tune in this Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Eastern, and check us out. And if you're hearing this Saturday, and you missed and you can't make it later tonight, because as our this episode releases, check us out on Sunday morning, Easter, where that kind of show would really ramp up your WrestleMania Sunday, and it's perfect for Easter events.
A great point. Great point, man.
Before we bounce out, I want to review just a couple things with you.
Okay, what do you got?
So the Dodgers recently auctioned off one of their 2024 World Series championship rings. Okay. Notice that it's made by Jostens, who made our high school class rings. How much would you pay for a ring like this?
Okay, so realistically, like if I was actually going to do this, I would sell probably every card that I own with the exception of the Walt Disney Auto. And then every piece of just thing that I don't use. I don't know. Give me 20 grand, 25 grand. I honestly have no idea what the market for that is. So that's kind of a tough question to throw out there.
That's solid, man. But you would be well short.
Oh no.
This car
wouldn't be the first time.
This ring sold. You happen to have $101,000 handy?
Oh, well, no. How's that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm sure it's. I didn't look into it. Oh, but let me tell you what else you got with this. Not only did you get a personalized championship ring, you also got 2 Yamava Dugout Club by San Manuel seats, 2 batting practice passes, 1 preferred parking pass, on-field photo opportunity with the Dodgers team photographer.
Hey, that's our guy.
That is our guy. 1 autographed baseball from World Series MVP Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
1 autographed jersey from 3 times World Series champion Mookie Betts, and 2 passes for a private Dodger Stadium tour.
God, that's awesome. That's $100,000. If I had $100,000, I would do that. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Without question.
Yeah.
Without debate. The next piece of news I've got for you, and I probably should turn this African beat back on. That is the name of the song.
When you said that, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I got to be careful in this day and age. Tom Brady. He has bought a 50% ownership stake in Card Vault, a Boston area card shop.
Yeah, this was interesting.
And he has an eye on expansion. How cool is it that, especially if you're from Boston or in the Boston area and you grew up cheering for Tom Brady, that your idol has bought into one of your card shops? So now it's Card Vault by Tom Brady.
That is pretty cool. I have to admit, the photo that they show, I'm not in love with that.
No.
Like, it doesn't look like a super cool shop. Let's see if I can enlarge this here a little bit. But yes, to what you're saying, that would be incredible.
Oh man, I cannot even imagine it. It's 1,200 square feet of retail space. It will have a custom designed steel vault showcasing high-end collectibles, Fanatics memorabilia, and artwork complemented by sports-centric murals from artists, including a one-of-a-kind sculpture by Southern California artist Brett Crawford.
Oh.
Grand opening is from 6 to 8 p.m. Doesn't give me a date.
And I want to say, as I was reading through things, that this is not the first shop that he has had some part of ownership with. I want to say it was like his 3rd or 4th.
Really? I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. Yeah. So
just steps from MetLife Stadium. How cool is that too? Like, I'm afraid we wouldn't be able to afford anything in this shop, but I think it's beyond cool to go check out. You know where it seems like it fits pretty well? Vegas.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. Yep. You know what it reminds me of is the All-Star Cafe that used to be in Vegas, long since shut down.
Yes.
But in my mind as a kid, when we would like occasionally go there was always the thought in the back of my mind that like, oh, maybe the guys are going to show up. Like maybe Andre Agassi is going to show up. And I forget who the other guys were. But that's kind of the thing here too. It's kind of fun to just think about. And you know that Tom Brady's not just going to come rolling in, but maybe, and that just adds a fun little perk to it. We have, as an aside to this, but just adds to that little element of fun. Ricky, we have a bar here. There's a couple of them in Salt Lake that actually exist, but one, I want to say it's Bar X that was owned by Ty Burrell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the name of it isn't necessarily important, but the fact that it was owned by Ty Burrell, like Sarah and I would go there at times. And I want to say even maybe in the distant past, you and I would go there because he was known to just pop in and hang out at the bar and sit and chat with people. And while I never met him there, it adds a little bit of fun when a big name is to it.
For sure. And they made like really fancy cocktails, and like we would go there and suffer in line because they only had like 1 or 2 mixologists.
Yes.
And you have to sit in line for an hour and a half for your next drink. But we willingly did it just for a chance to see Ty or and the drinks themselves were quite good. They did a really good job with them. But I agree with you. Let's wrap up with our final story.
Yeah, sounds good. We'll get
and I'm not going to dive too much into the details of this, but we got word that Shadur Sanders and his teammate Travis Hunter have signed exclusive autograph trading card deals with Panini.
So this was interesting. And the reason this may seem a little out of order and out of place how we're doing this, Ricky and I put these up when we weren't sure if Mike was going to be able to come on, and we wanted to accommodate to his timing. That's why we're putting him at the end of the show.
Right.
Ricky, here's what I think the big point, the takeaway for me is with this.
Mm-hmm.
For at least the near future, even though they're losing the license, Panini is still going to remain relevant.
Yep.
Now, while I have been a big advocate of hating on Panini's value when you purchase their product, I will say this. I think in my non-educated brain of the hobby, in general, it is good when there is competition.
Agreed.
It can drive, that lack of monopoly that we've seen Panini has had in basketball and other sports recently. So maybe it's a good thing. I still don't love Panini products, but I think at least this is going to keep them relevant in the football world for the near future.
Well, and I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you that competition is good. I wish that both had the licensing. I realize in this day and age, the exclusive licensing is how it's going to be. It's been that way for years and years and years. It's going to continue to be that way. What my fear is, that you're right. Mysticata comes in. Panini will be relevant as heck for WNBA collectors. He's a dead on, and the WNBA is growing. Dude, for the first time in my life, I stopped and watched the WNBA draft. Like, that's how big of a deal it's becoming.
As a tease for next week's show, and as a quick aside, my Caitlin Clark Panini Prism, that was at PSA, should be back by next week. And on next week's show, we will reveal it. And so, yes, Panini will remain relevant in the WNBA world and has grabbed my attention as well.
But my fear with this is that it's going to continue to be a situation where it's like, I want to get my favorite player, if it is Sanders or Travis Hunter, and I can't get them in a licensed product, which kind of blows, right? It's the same thing Jordan did to us in Kobe with Upper Deck. I mean, it's been the story for a quarter of a decade or a quarter of a century, right? But it's just, that's a bummer. I wish they would expand that license. That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you. It was lovely.
All right. Well, it's been another fun show for Chad. I'm Ricky, the MC Sports Cards, wishing all of you a one of one night.
Penny would like to say a few words about dogs not getting treats during the show.
I know what words those are. Oh, man.
Dude, I'm so excited for this weekend. I am so excited. Like, I'm going to be like a little kid at Christmas.
I am too. Did we ever hear, I'm going to be interested to see what Bright Lights Big City, Kansas City Dan does. He did tell us that he had some Easter plans interfering. We told him to find a new family that respects him.
Yeah.
And he did say that he had found a new family.
I was proud of him for that, to be honest.
Me too. And he did message me about what that meant. And he told me, there we go.
Hey, we should have shown Mike the abacus.
Oh, damn it.
We would have been best friends. He might have offered us an interview if I would have showed him the abacus.
He might have offered us both a VP position.
I could have been like, hey, man, like when it comes to, like, I can be your accountant. I can make sure everyone gets paid out correctly. Like, check this out.
That's amazing. He
was a pretty cool dude. I have to admit, man, it would be very hard to come onto a show like when you haven't ever chatted with people, like we were texting, or sending messages back and forth to set it up. But you just don't know what you're going to get. And then on a live show too, it's not easy. In the sports card world, I guess it's a little more common because people do a lot of things virtually or through chat, but that's not an easy thing to do. So I give him credit for that. Yeah.
And the fact that he was busy and still made time for us. I'm like, Kelvin. Huh?
Exactly. What? Hey, one last thing. You know what didn't show up on our eBay affiliate link? First of all, Chili just bought a nice Panini WNBA card.
Yeah.
And used the affiliate link and everything.
Yes.
We'll end this show with this. You know what wasn't on our eBay affiliate?
What?
Dennis Rodman timeless moment.
Ah! Ah!
See everyone Saturday. Toodaloo, mother.